We have a new thing that we're unleashing upon the world. It's the massive upgrade to our staff.niyfc.com portal. This upgrade will kind of be your new one-stop shop for everything HR related. And we wanted to give you guys a quick tour of what this is going to look like and what the expectations are, because believe it or not, we're already using it. So I'm going to turn on screen share here. Maybe turning on screen share. No, wrong. And hold on, let me try this again. New screen share, boom. All right, welcome to the new staff.nyfc.com. This is kind of the main page that you'll lock into. This will be something that you'll be using quite a bit as it rolls down. So on here, we have a little feed window. Here you can mention people, you can send messages, you can get upgrade or updates on things as things get added to the site and the system. It will update in there. So as you can see, yesterday I filled out an incident report for myself that my butt hurt. And so I have that now in my thing so I can see, hey, I submitted an incident report, because with all things, this will be a part of everything. So going in and doing incident reports, FMLA requests, OSHA requests, American with Disability, all that stuff. It is a fantastic, fantastic thing. So let's walk through this. Organization. Now everyone should, if you completed the requests WUFU form that I sent out, everyone should have had a profile generated and an email sent to you to be like, yo, this is me. It's fantastic. So once you've done that, you can see the people who have already clicked yes. We're going to have an organization tree. We'll have department information, so you can see, hey, everybody who's a ministry staff. It'll make it really easy to send emails and notes and all that sort of stuff. In here as well, we have company policies. So if you want the most up-to-date handbook, all of our policies will reside right in here. So you'll be able to grab everything and see when last revisions were and all that good jazz. The one that I know all you hourly people are wondering about is attendance. So this is going to be the new way that we're recording hours. Your WUFU form, goodbye. It is gone. Adios, skis. This is going to be kind of the new way. So there's two ways that you can go in and record your hours. The first way is right here. You'll have a check-in and a check-out button. And that also appears on your main profile when you sign in, right here. Check in, check out. This will literally just auto-start recording your, oh yeah, Chris thinks he's so special because yes, of course, there's also an app that you can do it right from there. So you can literally punch in, punch out. It will automatically record your hours. Not a problem at all. Now, I know what you're thinking. I stink at this. I forget to sign in all the stinking time. I just want to go to the old system where I could just write down the hours I was there. Don't worry, you can do that too. So if you don't want to do the whole check-in, check-out system, what it will do is it'll automatically just click, and it'll click you red. You click on that date, it'll give you two things. You can either apply leave for that day, or you can add an entry. If you click add entry, you literally just put the time you were in. So I showed up at, I guess, 9:32 a.m. and I went to shore. Fantastic. Long day. And it will add that in, and your hours are recorded. So you can either do it in real time, you can go back and add it in. The hours that you'll be paid will reflect the hours that you submit up through that day. So if your report is incomplete, it's going to be on you and on your supervisor to make sure hours are in there and in correctly. So supervisors still need to go in and check on their staff. So You go in and you can look and see who's checking in, who's checking out. For full-time staff, you do not need to worry about tracking your hours. So it doesn't matter if it says absent, you're fine, all that good stuff. It also will automatically have, let me go back to me here, automatically have holidays locked in for pay. So you don't need to worry about recording those or worrying about all that sort of stuff. Are there any questions on the attendance tab, or how we record hours? Okay. And because I'm sharing my screen, I can't see the chat window. So no doubt you all are, I see it's blowing up, but I can't read it. So something exciting is obviously happening there.
They're talking about dogs. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about stupid dogs. I have a dog.
I did have an actual question on there about this.
Yeah.
So does that mean we don't have to do time cards anymore? Like Monday comes and it's just done based on this, no worrying about time card?
That is correct.
Woohoo!
Don't have to submit your hours anymore. It's just going to run. Autumn is literally going to be loading this and heading into the reports tab and grabbing your reports and going to be done. Like this, it's all, the hope is it's all going to be automated, right?
Okay, so question on this, because I know when we were piloting this,
Yep.
for me, like this, tracking Chris's hours of this was kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I always forgot that it existed because I didn't have to like really worry about it.
Yep.
But then every now and again when I would go on here, like I would catch days where like he maybe forgot to clock out.
Mm-hmm.
So like who's responsible to make sure that those kinds of things get addressed? Like do we need to be in the rhythm of regularly getting on here and kind of checking on our staff?
So it doesn't change for supervisors. Supervisors still on those Mondays need to be approving the hours. There just isn't an actual like approval tab anymore. You're just going to get on and make sure everything looks kosher. Individual staff are responsible for accurately recording their hours. So if Chris forgets to clock out, it's his responsibility to get on and fix that. It's your responsibility as a supervisor by the time, Wednesday at noon, when we need to submit hours to Autumn and she's jumping on and getting this, that those are accurate.
Okay. So if that doesn't happen, like how does that actually impact the payroll?
So if we're reporting, let's say Chris forgot some hours, you missed checking it, and Autumn pays it out. Like what happened?
So the things like, hey, like so he clocked in at Thursday at 2 p.m. and then never clocked out. So
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to be like so? Like, does that mean like he's officially like on the clock until?
No, you go in. So like here, oh man, I didn't work until then. You literally just like click it and then click edit.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, if we forget to make that edit and then it goes to Autumn on payday and he's been on the clock for like 4 consecutive days,
it automatically logs you out at the start of the next day. So it won't be that, but it would be like, hey, this is clocked in through the night. You as the supervisor need to make sure that what we're submitting to Autumn. Now, if that happens, Autumn's going to pay the hours that we submit to her because it's not her job to check and make sure those are accurate. That's our job to check and make sure those are accurate. So what would happen is we would pay that. Hopefully it gets caught in that. Then we do a salary adjustment and there's money taken off the next check to compensate for the extra that was paid out beforehand.
Hey, I don't know if you already answered this. I had to get up and deal with a kid, but so for this week right now, should we have been clocking in?
So we're going to submit these on what is the next one? The 9th. We will use this as our system. So today or tomorrow or later this week, we're going to have you jump on and update your hours the last 2 days. Again, if you want to use the check-in, check-out system, bully on you. Fantastic. I'm happy for you. If you just want to go in and just do the system like we were doing before where you're just manually updating it, that's fine too. Now, Supervisors do have permissions to go in. So like I can go back into Paul's, and even though he doesn't need to actually worry about this, I can go in and I can create entries for him. So, I can go in and supervisors are able to see exactly what their team has, all that stuff, and they're able to create entries and adjust if that staff's out and you got to make a call and get this fixed. But so keep in mind, it's on the hourly staff to make sure that they get their hours in. It's on the supervisors to make sure that they're accurate.
Okay, so a question, Nick. How is this going to work with camp?
Camp, we're going to function it like we have in the past. We pay for the hours in which they're on. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder if they want to use their phone to check in, check out. I don't care. What I would just recommend is you record your hours on a sheet of paper and just come back after the fact and just update it with here are the hours that I worked.
Okay.
But how do they decide when it's time to clock out?
When they no longer have responsibilities with kids. So sleeping, mealtime. If you go into the manual,
so the minute you fall asleep, that's the minute you clock out.
It's again, I wouldn't for camp. I wouldn't recommend using the clock in, clock out. I would record it on afterwards and say, "Yep, this is the time we fell asleep."
Well, because I'm just thinking I might say, "Hey, lights out at 11," but we're still dinking around till 1 in the morning. So if I'm Chris in that scenario, what time did I actually clock out? When they all fell asleep, or when I said it's lights out?
It's when, so legally it is when your job, the expectations of your role ends. So if you're expected to continually you're talking to kids and you're staying on till 1 a.m., it's 1 a.m. If it's, hey, everybody's pretty much quiet, you have one kid who's just talking, you say shut up, that doesn't mean that you continually clock in, clock out. You know what I mean? Hold on, I gotta get back on the clock here for this 1 minute while I say shut up, go to sleep. You know what I mean? And there is, in the policy manual, there's an entire 3 pages on how to figure this stuff out. And again, it's a supervisor. So, and it can be, so you have a volunteer and a part-time staff in the same cabin, and it's just clear from the get-go saying, hey, at night, the volunteer's in charge. And that paid staff, they're off the clock at this time. And boom and boom. And I get to that, sometimes, camp happens, and you have a kid who snuck out, and you're going to have to go do a finding party and pull them together. I get that happens. We just got to make sure that we're recording those hours in which they're responsible for kids.
Yeah. So we fell asleep, and then a kid wakes up in the middle of the night puking everywhere. You have to get up and deal with it.
Yep.
So now you're on the clock again.
Basically.
Yeah. I
All
the hypothetical game. Let's come up with some more scenarios.
It's gonna be a learning thing. Honestly, trust the employee manual, and just our job is just to we're trying to give a worker his wage. So if you're working, we want to pay you for it, because it's illegal for us not to, and because it's the right thing to do. So, all right, on to Leave Tracker. I know you guys care about this. Leave Tracker is the way you are going to now submit for time off. Up here in the corner, you have this apply leave. In this leave, you have all the different types of leave that you can ask for. So if it's a compensatory leave, it's military leave, it's ministry leave, it's sabbatical leave, it's bereavement leave. You click on it, it will tell you how many days you have available to you. Now here's what I need to do. I need you guys to actually confirm your account so I can go in and accurately make sure that everyone's things are up to date. But stop shaking your head, Chris. I fixed it for you the other day. So you're up to date right now. Don't even shake your head. Don't even shake your head, because I can look you up and I can see that you have 6.5 days available to you.
Yes, but I can't apply it yet, Nick, so it's pointless.
You can apply it, and I can apply it for you. Matter
Please
of fact,
do. On Monday the 11th.
All right, so Monday the 11th, we're going to apply 1 full day for Chris.
Yes.
Reason for leave? Because I want it. Ooh, and I should spell because right. What? This is where it's, I have too many things. The date of joining.
Look at that. I can't apply for leave, Nick.
Yeah, you know why, Chris? Because your profile is incomplete.
And guess what? I can't update date of joining, Nick.
Yes, you can. Oh, your supervisor can. You gotta talk to your supervisor.
Come on, Paul. It's all your fault.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I've never seen this until right now.
So we got to just make sure that your date, because what this does is this will calculate your leave based on the date of hire. So, for example, Paul is he's starting his 6th year on staff with us, and that means that he enters into a new category of leave and gets an additional 5 days of leave. It will automatically generate and do that for you. This is how you will apply leave. It will automatically be approved if you have the days. So you don't have to worry about it being that. Team ID right here, this is who you want this notification to go out to. So typically, you want this to go to your supervisor, but you may just want this to go to everybody, and you can just literally put in, the staff.nyc.com. You can also put in, like, offices. So Mason City at nyc.com, Hampton at nyc.com, JJM at nyc.com, and it will group and email the team out to say, hey, I'm gone this day. So even if, let's say, you are a supervisor and you want to let your staff know, hey, I'm stepping out, boom, you're good to go. So this will track your leaves, and then you can go into reports and you can see the leaves that you have and then the leaves that you've taken. Make sense? All right, what questions do you guys have on leave?
So is this all public? Like, can you get in there and look at other people's stuff?
So you can only look at people so you and your direct reports. So supervisors can go in and see the leave for their direct reports. Direct reports can't go and see the leave of their supervisor, though, automatically. So That's why you want to use the team ones. But, like, Chad couldn't go in and see Kelsey's because they're not in the same line.
So here's a question. I'm going to go and do Nita's hours for her because of her family emergency and stuff.
Yep.
Today, do I do this, or do I do what we've always done with WooFoo?
So starting today, you're going to use this. But I don't know if Nita. I don't think Nita has approved the email yet. Nope, she hasn't.
Hey, Nick.
Yep.
So I just went to staff.nyfc.com, and it's still the old one.
It's still the old one. I haven't updated that yet.
Okay.
I wanted to show you guys before, just in case there was, yeah. All right. Any other questions on our leave tracking? Fantastic. All right, reporting. This is how you fill out reports. Incident reports will now come here, so there is no more paper incident reports. It can all be done via your smartphone. It can be done via the website. And it's literally like it's the same thing. There's some new things on it. So we have police call now. We have property damage now. You can select this. If you select it here, it'll automatically forward it to the appropriate people. So this will then generate an email to risk management and send it out if you have risk management as being informed. This will automatically send an email to Derek if you have him checked. So it's much more automated. The one thing I would like to point out is you can save a draft in this. So you don't have to have it all completed. You can start it, save a draft, and just kind of work your way through it.
Can you give us maybe some context for what kinds of incidents should be going to Derek? Should be going to risk management, things like that?
Yeah, so any potential lawsuits need to go to Derek. Any significant injury or student death or sexual abuse of a staff or volunteer, that needs to all go up to risk management.
How are we defining significant injury? Like broken arm?
Significant injury would be a hospital stay. So a broken arm, probably not a significant injury to go to risk management, but it would need to go probably to Derek. It's just essentially and even if you don't select those, it gets to me, I'm going to forward it up the chain. If I look at that and say, oh, wait, no, they need to get it. So don't worry too much about that.
So, like, thinking high school ministry,
Yep.
I mean, she's going to have to put risk management every time she's got to send somebody to the ER?
No, because again, it's for a hospital stay.
Okay.
So if they're going to be kept overnight, we got to let risk management know. And that's true for an injury, but not necessarily a referral. So let's say you have like a mental health issue with a kid, and you refer them to the hospital, and then they're at 5 East for 2 days. That wouldn't have to go up because it's not an injury that happened within Youth for Christ. It's just a referral to medical care. You still would want an incident report for that. Like you'd still want to say, hey, we had an injury that we want to make sure that is selected, but it wouldn't bump all the way up. This should also have, this should be like a smart form. So if you say, hey, was there property damage? And you say yes, it will add additional questions that you need to fill out. Now this is true. This is not just for ministry staff, because if any of you are injured on the job, that you need to fill out an incident report for that. So if you're suddenly typing at your keyboard and your thumb falls off, you have to fill out an incident report saying there was an employee injury, ... And then if it requires medical care, all that stuff. The medical attention required is medical attention that stretches beyond our first aid kits here. So if you have something that where like I needed to get actual real life medical attention, not I needed to give them a Band-Aid or I needed to give them an ice pack. That's not medical attention. Make sense? All right. So those are incident reports. Also, we have OSHA reports. OSHA reports are anytime you're coming into contact with human fluid, blood, barf, other fluid, anything. We have to fill out an OSHA report for that. That's a new thing. Don't worry too much about that because that's coming into effect soon. All right, training.
Question on the OSHA report. Will there be a training on that?
Yes, we're having a completely separate training for OSHA reports coming up. So exciting. I know there's nothing more exciting than OSHA reports other than Chris's cat, but all right, so.
There's just so many potential scenarios.
I know.
So much fun.
I know. And it's literally just making sure that we're quantifying, hey, when we're coming into contact with with blood, we want to make sure that we're capturing that. So there may be times where you're filling out both an OSHA report because I helped clean a wound for a kid and an injury report because they fell down on basketball courts. Like you might have two things all around that one thing. Training. What this tab will do, this tab will capture all the training you have completed in your professional role here. So as you go to trainings, supervisors will lock in those trainings on you if they're not registered through this site. So this will be kind of that one-stop shop where you say, hey, did that staff complete that? Or when did that staff complete that? Everything will be kind of captured on here. So you'll have a record of saying, yep, I completed the vehicle training from Paul on this day, whatever that is. We also have registration. So instead of us going and saying, hey, everyone, let me know if you're coming to this thing or that thing, you're going to go on and you're going to register through our staff portal for a training. So right now we have regional conference on here. To register, you just put in, quick thing, and then you select from the drop-down menu of saying, hey, what training am I going to? And it will automatically generate that. Now, the cool thing is if you sign up through this, it will automatically add it to your training record after the training is complete. So once the training is done, it will locked in and that sort of thing. Now, let's say you have a training that you really want to do. Hey, I see Catalyst is coming up. I really want to go to Catalyst, and I'm going to record it on here. Right over here, you'll be able to record new trainings that you have or that don't fall into the drop-down menu. And those will, again, record into your employee profile, and then you can request reimbursement per diem. And then we'll come back and we mark this later.
So is this, because Kelsey just talked about regional earlier, she needs to know that for early bird rate. So is this where you're supposed to just go in and mark it? And then
why don't we continue just to send out an email to Kelsey for regional, and then we'll come in, only because this is a new system, and I put this in as kind of a test, not really thinking that we would actually use it. But I don't know, Kelsey, what do you think?
Where does that go once it's submitted? Does that come to me, or do I have to log on and look?
No, I can set up the email that it automatically comes to you.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I don't know, this could be a good test for you guys to all get in there, but I'm afraid you guys all won't log in there and do it. Is an email easier?
Well,
I would say, considering that like half of people don't have everything ready to go yet, maybe the email would be best.
So everyone
if we want to get the early bird rate.
Everyone should have a profile. You should it's just literally an email that you have to click yes to that you received last night. And everyone's profile should be built.
You should.
Should. If you're not, let me know.
I didn't get an email.
You didn't get an email? Okay.
No.
I will double check you. Anyone else not get an email?
I haven't checked yet.
Okay. If you didn't, just let me know. Email me. Last but not least, training feedback. One thing that we want to do a better job of is capturing what we thought of trainings immediately afterwards. So this is literally a way that you can go in and say, yep. So once you've completed a training, you're able to say and give, was this useful? No. What did you most enjoy? All that stuff. So this is how we're going to have you be recording training feedback as opposed to sending out like Wufoo forms. And that way they're all in one spot and we can all check it over. All right. Now for features that we will roll out, but we're not rolling out just yet. Inventory is where we'll be like recording keys that we give you, laptops, all the stuff that is the ministries that we're giving to you. This is going to be where that's all recorded. So like when Chrissy gets her new work laptop here in about 9 days, we're going to stick a new entry into that to say, hey, Chrissy got a laptop from us. And so when you're ditching us for jobs at Caribou, we can say, okay, what did we give you and what did you bring and all that stuff. Performance is something that we're going to be playing with. It's going to be off. I'm going to turn this thing off. But this will be a big chunk of the new reviews that are coming out this next year. You're going to be updating your goals in here. And from those goals, it's going to build reports off of. And your supervisor is going to be able to record all the feedback that they give you on here, and you're going to get those fantastic little updated things. We're going to have all your nasty grams will be in here as well. Yeah, that's right. No records found, because I never get nasty grams. But anytime you get a written warning or anything like that, it's all going to be in there. You're also going to have a list of all your benefits. You're going to have a historical data of your pay. You're going to have kind of all those pieces. You're also able to give shout outs to people via this. And the cool thing with that is your supervisor or their supervisor can see it. So let's say, hey, Chad just did something awesome and you really want to give him a shout out. You're able to actually give feedback to people who are not necessarily your direct reports. Now, here's what I will say. With the feedback tab, you will be able to give feedback positive, observational, and negative. Like, we're not going to turn off negative feedback. But I would say I will be incredibly disappointed if anyone actually uses this to give negative feedback to somebody. And that would be a real negative in my mind if you're using that. So, yeah, don't do it. We're going to keep it on, but because we want supervisors to give feedback to their direct reports, and we want them to be able to give negative feedback in a recordable way. But for peer-to-peer feedback, don't use the negative reports. Planning will be further down the road. We'll have automatic forms for like things like events and all that sort of stuff. You'll have ways that you can submit plans for all that, for camps, for events, and your supervisor will be able to approve them. Approvals will only appear on supervisors' accounts. There you'll be able to approve additional leave, requests for trainings, plans, all that good stuff. It's all going to come in through approvals. So this is your new staff portal. Are there any big questions that you guys have? Okay.
I have a few questions.
Go for it.
One really. So on the existing staff portal, there's the check requests, vehicle reservations, and vehicle maintenance requests.
Yep.
How are we going to be communicating that kind of stuff?
It's all going to be under reporting. So
Okay.
I just got to make the tab over, but it'll still be there. It'll just be all under the reporting.
So are we going to have to, with the vehicle ones specifically, are we going to have to, is that just going to link to those WUFU forms, or do we have to redo those?
That'll link right to the WUFU forms. WUFU isn't going away because we still kind of need it for different things.
Okay.
But for the most part, we're going to try and be leaning on this as our go-to thing.
Okay.
Any hesitations? Anyone who thinks like, ooh, I'm not so sure about this? Anyone excited to actually be able to see this stuff? All right. So expect this rollover to happen later today. So you'll be able to go on again. Go on. You can. Everyone should have access, except for people like Katie, who didn't fill out their profiles. You're still going to need to do that. So make sure that you go on and get that, so I can get those things updated for you, so that it's actually accurate. And then give me to the end of the week to get everyone's vacation time up and running. You can still do the leave if you have leaves, but it won't accurately show your things. All right. Secret phrase of the week. Anyone want to give a guess to what thing I worked in? I worked it in 4 different times throughout this thing. I have a Starbucks gift card if you can guess it. Nobody wants to guess. People hate free things. No?
I do.
Okay, what's your guess?
Does anybody have any questions?
That would be a fantastic phrase, but no.
Something about Zoho?
It is not Zoho. The phrase was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Nick, that's a word.
That's not a phrase.
It's a word.
That's a word.
That is 100% a word.
Word. You owe us all Starbucks now.
You all Starbucks now.
Hey, I said the word impact 5 times today, guys. Look at the secret phrase. It's impact.
I never say phenomenal. I think that's a stupid word.
all the time.
No.
Yeah, you totally
What is your favorite word in the
not
English
great.
language?
I think you're confusing this with outstanding, which is
Fantastic.
what I do say all this thing time. All right, I owe you all coffee.
Yeah.
Send me your drink orders.
Yeah.
I will buy you coffee.
We're all going to Starbucks after staff, and Nick is buying for everybody.
No, I'll buy you all coffee. Send me your drink orders.
And you're buying my dog a thing, too.
Sorry, Katie, I don't buy things for rat dogs.
Right now. We need to do
You can get a free puppuccino at Starbucks. Come
Yeah.
on.
Cappuccino.
What is a puppuccino?
It's a cup of whipped cream. It's amazing.
Actually, my kids get that quite a bit.
Still
It's
hustling
disgusting.
customers who would
My
ask
dog
for-
is not a rat, guys.
I mean, it's a